I was having that negative grapevine again a little bit ago, but it's not been as bad off and on. So, got this. My swollen ankles. Look at that. And Blue's turds. There was no mail after we made it across the road. Blue's just sitting here chilling behind me. And the moon was looking really cool through the clouds. Scooby-Doo moon, almost. Put my do-rag down a little farther. It looks like a little house on the prairie bonnet now because I had it adjusted. But yeah, October 26th, 2023. It's not terrible right now. Someone must be making a positive difference, but it is still there hovering. So whoever won't come to my front porch, if they act like there's a memory problem with me, these 3 different levels of things that's been hinted about, and well, my first ex-husband directly told me, I was never told about, I haven't been given official documentation, but I have every piece of official documentation of the charges that most got dropped, but the things that came from misunderstandings from something that was already in my business being blamed on my imagination. When I had tangible evidence of at least some of it. They kept me locked up that long. I wasn't under any obligation not to drink, so I have a feeling someone else got in underage trouble and did something in my name and never even told me. So if that's what it is, any of those people that have influence locally, like the 2 girls that attacked me that run the local ARC office, Delbert, who drove the Dukes Hazzard type car, missing fingers on his left hand, who said he acted like he caught Gina with those underage boys, and she admits that she probably did do something, but she told me that she don't know who they were, but she thinks they were young. That's the kind of thing, between that and what Mike Brown told me, my dad up at Terre Haute, my legal dad, who may or may not be my biological father, but has been my dad for, all purposes, that he was an absent parent anyway, so he tried to do more things toward the end of his life to make it up, but, you can't really rebuild that, and I'm really sad that I didn't get a chance to before he passed away. It was a year ago in June, and there's still stuff unresolved in that because he had veterans insurance. He was all about the veterans hospital, and they took him to a regular hospital and a regular nursing home and gave him a guardian and took $17,000 out of his bank account from the money I'm getting secondhand. And I'm gonna run my mouth about all this as long as what's this dude doing? This is kind of weird. Oh, he's just getting out of the traffic's way. He's going off-road up in my yard, my garage over there. I was like, wait a minute. It makes me a little nervous. I'm not sure who that is, but I think I've seen that one drive by before. Sometimes they drive by if I don't get a good look at them. I just kind of wave anyway. I don't know who they are. Because this is a small town, and it should be that way. Life should be simple like it used to be, but it is not, because there is someone that has been for the longest time, over a decade, controlling my communications. No one's probably seen an unfiltered version of me since 2006, except for maybe in spots off and on. And especially whatever came back full force in May 2014, and downhill, the descent into 2017 was just like the year from hell, and some of it in 2016. There's absolutely no reason I should have had to suffer that. Someone should have checked that out without first calling me crazy, because the anxiety disorder I do have is very real. The PTSD I have from how I was mistreated is very real, but it wasn't delusion when I can prove some of it. And even if it was delusion, that just makes me more of a target because it's easy for someone to write me off. So I use my YouTube thing, and it's going to be the basis for my book / movie, whatever. Hopefully, maybe I will be able to do something someday where I'm not shut down every time someone else doesn't want that word to get out, even if it uploads. It'll probably be in one of them. It'll go to a queue where most people don't even see it, but that's okay. Maybe sometimes that's a blessing, but it helps me get it out and feel like I'm doing something about it. Most importantly, the whole world of YouTube doesn't have to see it, but if someone official checks it out and they are saying, well, she was this upset the whole time and you never took a note on that. There's thousands of DVDs in her house where she vented like a mother but showed that she could pull herself out of it, and the reason that she was so upset is because she was being abused, not by my ex-husband and my sister, by someone posing as them and keeping them in a parent trap of red tape. That's pretty much what I've got figured out so far without all the exact details. And whoever has my tri-gold chevron necklace from over 30 years ago, my sister set that night up, but I don't know if it's going to be the most twisted Cinderella story ever, if it ever turns up. I have a replica on my giant frog over there, little replicas everywhere. The more I started journaling and thinking about things, I was like, some of that has to go back to that, and probably even back to my second ex-husband that I'm still with, his cousin's death, wreck in 1987, from the things that now makes sense in hindsight that my sister had said to me. She must have been afraid to speak up then too. So, whatever. Sometimes life's happier when you don't have to worry about all that, but if someone can affect you, it's a lot better to know, because I would have been thinking my belief in coincidences from God and synchronicity, I would have thought God hated me from the stuff I was suffering. That really did a number to mentally mess with me intentionally. And I'm not going to say it's all bad, because there's probably been somebody playing good cop, and thank you for whoever that is. And right or wrong about who it is, I don't want to hate anybody. But I'm going to vent as long as I'm being bothered, abused, and upset. Is my right to? My rights to believe as I wish had been violated? To be labeled as mental illness when a lot of it had a real basis as to why it was happening. And it's not like I just go from 0 to 60 and get upset. I try to speak up and ask around people, and I get blown off. I have gotten blown off for well over a decade. So whoever else has participated, I don't want the people around me that I care about to be in trouble, because likely they were tricked by whoever was trying to hide their own past, is what I'm gathering.